Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Everyday EDC. My name is Tyler, and today we are going to be reviewing the Benchmade 940 in Jade and M4 Blade HQ exclusive. So jumping right into this legendary beast of a knife that, a lot of you guys are going to be like, yeah, it's about time you got a 940 on your channel, right? And I kind of get it. After carrying this for a short period of time, I did not want to carry this too long due to the exclusiveness of this knife. There's a word that I was striving for there, and I was struggling. But I didn't want to carry it too much or put it through anything hard because I was going to probably trade this, which I already did. And it's going to be gone by the time this thing is released. It really is. Before I get into this, I'm going to tell you guys right now, we might find this knife boring because it's been around for so long. We might it's just a whatever knife. Some of you guys might call it the old lady finger, which I'll post up on towards the end because it's actually pretty hilarious. And screw you, Jake, because that's all I can see from now on. Seriously, that's all I see. I look at it and I see an old lady finger. But realistically, this thing is so damn light. It is so darn slicey, and the reverse tanto allows for some decent puncture tasks. And the fidget factor is right there that I feel like this thing really just, it's kind of one of the most well-rounded knives that I've come across in quite some time. So let's jump into kind of the overview of it real quick. So this is the M4 blade. This is the Blade HQ exclusive. This is the DLC coating on there. This is a reverse tanto, and it carries a swedge for the middle part of the blade and then allows it to bounce back out and carry even more strength to that tip. This is on thumb studs, and I believe this is a flat grind. So we have these G10. They're not glow in the dark, they're just jade scales, that they're not contoured, but due to the way that they're chamfered at a very steep, aggressive hollow grind, I'll call it, convex, on the way out, or concave rather, that it gives the pseudo feeling of some sort of contouring on here. It's not the most ergonomic friendly knife. It's not the most ergonomic and friendly knife as far as ergonomics go, but that being said, it is not a slouch either. It really fits that bill. Now, you talk about fidget factor and the axis lock. This thing was brand new when it came to me. And that was a fail. But the ability to do the axis lock flick, which is really hard going from the side and not trying to hit your camera, is super easy. The thumb flip is super easy. The reverse flick is really, really easy too. Everything about this is just a fidgety. It's super functional. It's lightweight. You can tell that the canisters that are going in here for the liners are barely even in existence. They go about halfway down and they're only halfway through. It's almost like a popsicle stick. We got some barrel spacers here with a little bit of jimping on the back here, some mild jimping going on right there, and a regular style just that pocket clip that is ambidextrous. You can turn that from side to side. I don't really need to talk too much more about the overview. You guys probably mostly know it. There's jimping right there as well. It's kind of a basic Benchmade, right? But the design overall is just phenomenal. So let's get into some specs. We'll go into some size comparisons. I'll recap, give you my overall thoughts, and what I do and don't like. I mean, there's some things that I really don't like about the decisions made with this exclusive model, but it could just be me. All right. So I know most of you guys wait for the price, and you're like, how much is it? It's $198 on Blade HQ, but I don't think they're definitely not available right now. I don't know if they're coming back either. So this is coming in at 2.6 ounces. So you want to talk blade length to weight ratio. Holy freaking smokes, does this thing just crush that ratio. Because this is a relatively long knife too, which I will demonstrate as soon as I find my friggin' tape measure. Alright. So the overall length of this knife is coming in right at about 8 inches, just shy of 8 inches realistically. But the overall cutting edge is coming in at, or the overall blade length is coming in at, we'll call it 3 1/3 inches, like 3.3 inches. And the overall cutting edge is right around the same. It's in between 1/4 and 1/2. So 3.3 for a 2.6 ounce blade, there's your blade length to weight ratio. It's absolutely insane. All right, let's get into your blade stock thickness. Once again, coming in relatively narrow at 110 thousandths, and the behind the edge thickness is coming in at still a good working edge of about 25 thousandths. It's not the most slicey, and that might be thrown off a little bit due to the DLC coating. The uncoated blade might be a little bit less, but not significantly so. The thickness in your pocket, which I didn't get on the last review that I did, is coming in at 0.43 or 0.44. That's a little bit more narrow than most knives, but not incredibly so. And the overall height in your pocket is coming in at a 1.15, which, to put that in perspective, your PM2 is coming in at a 1.6, your PM3 is coming in at a 1.66, and your Manix 2 is coming in at a 1.76 inches wide in your pocket. I mean, this is the carry factor that you talk about, right? It's narrow. That's what makes this thing really well-rounded. And well, once again, I'm jumping ahead of myself. You guys just don't mess with my routine, all right? Just don't mess with my routine. I gotta stick to it. So this thing's a little bit longer than the Civivi Elementum, and slightly longer than the Civivi Badlands Vagabond. I can't wait to review this Vagabond, by the way. I'm so glad I held on to it and didn't review it like when I first got it, because my mind has changed on it significantly for the better. So anyways, this is your CJRB feldspars. The regular size feldspar is just about the same length, and your mini feldspar is coming in at probably about half of an inch to an inch shorter than the Benchmade 940 Osborne M4. Alright, so here is your Rat Model 1 and your Rat Model 2. Obviously, your Rat Model 1's coming in at slightly longer, not too much, and your Rat Model 2's coming in at slightly shorter, but not too much. And last but not least, we have your Spyderco sandwich. Don't make fun of this, but this is my Spyderco Tenacious. I don't know why you'd make fun of it. It's actually pretty sweet. And the full serrations, that's my only full serrated knife, and I do use that out in the yard when I don't want to carry saws and stuff. And this is your Spyderco Little Native, which doesn't want to sit proper for the camera. The Benchmade is a little bit longer than the Tenacious and much longer, obviously, than the Spyderco Little Native. So a quick overview. This is an M4 blade with a reverse tanto. We have a swedge that carries this length of the blade. It has a, we call it reverse tanto, but it is similar to like, yeah, it's a reverse tanto. I was going to call it semi-drop point. Kind of is, but whatever. Thumb stud opener that you can reverse flick just fine, you can thumb flick just fine, and you can open up with the axis lock, even though I'm not doing it well, just fine. Quite a bit of hardware going through here, but that's to carry that canister liner that's going in there. And otherwise, I mean, it's just held onto the liner. So once you separate the barrel spacers and that, you could take these apart and just leave the liner in there, but you got your axis lock that you got to worry about as well. So we have these barrel spacers right here with some jimping going on right where your thumb would fall, and it fits just fine. And I mean, a lot of this just fits really good. There's no blade play up, down, left, or right. And this is a brand new knife coming from Benchmade with the axis lock, so no up and down, even a little clicky. Like, it's nice. This pocket clip is just meh. There's nothing special about this pocket clip. It's the standard pocket clip from Benchmade, and it kind of looks, we all know what it looks like, and it's just okay. Give you guys a quick close-up view of this. All right. So what are my likes about the Benchmade 940 M4? I think this blade shape is phenomenal for the design, the sleek, narrow profile that exists in this with this blade shape. It really lends itself to something that can stab through things if needed, but it also lends itself to a little bit of slicing factor. It kind of does everything very well and nothing the best, in my opinion. The carry factor is another thing that I like. I love how slender this is. This is going to go in your pocket, you're going to forget it. This is not much more than your Benchmade bug out. And, I mean, that's cool. We all like lighter weight stuff, especially if you're wearing, like, basketball shorts or something like that, you know, workout pants. You know, some of us like the overbuilt stuff, but I mean, you can appreciate the lighter stuff too, right? I really do like the fidget factor of this guy. You can do so much with it. Thumb flip, reverse flip, axis lock open, and that leads into very just fun knife. I mean, carrying it around, it's hard to keep your hands off it because it's so easy to just start flicking around. On the other side of that, the last thing that I really like is I like how solid this knife is. And I'm not talking solid dense. I'm talking just so well rounded. The puncture tasks, as I said, the slicing tasks, as I said, the fidget factor, as I said, the carry factor, as I said, and then you get a deep carry pocket clip on it, and it's even better. This thing is so freaking well rounded, it has to be kind of the jack of all trades knife. It is not going to be the best at anything, but it's going to be probably the best at everything by comparison. And by that I mean, if you're going to grade things on how well and how well rounded they are, this thing is probably one of the most well-rounded knives that exists out there. It does the best ergonomics to carry factor to blade length to weight ratio, and that is all just absolutely fantastic. So what don't I like about this?
The grandma fingers.
Yeah, you guys just saw it. I didn't even put it in there. You guys could see it in your brain. It looks like an old lady friggin' finger, right? Thanks, Jake, Dick. But the other thing that I kind of question about this is I know M4 is a tough steel, and I know it's a very hard steel, and maybe somebody, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know that you need an M4 steel on the Benchmade 940. It doesn't feel like that hard use of a knife. It doesn't feel like that hard use of a knife that you can really make use of that M4. I think you would be better off with something like maybe an M390. Even I don't know. There's other things out there that you can have the edge retention that could be a little bit more brittle. I just don't see you needing the toughness in this knife because it does feel kind of dainty in hand, kind of like an old lady finger. So that would be my only complaint, and you guys can feel free to disagree with me. Maybe it's an enthusiast move to get the M4 in there, and we all love M4, so maybe that's where that comes from. I don't know. It just feels a little off to do it in a knife like this. Let me know your comments on that below. Maybe I'm way off base. Some of you guys that probably know a little bit more about the chemistries and steels and whatnot, chime in. Some of you that don't, just give me your thoughts. I think that's a pretty cool discussion topic, right? Other than that, this thing's coming in at $198, and if you can get it for $198 on Blade HQ, by all freaking means, do it. Because the regular one's coming in at like $170 or $180 for the aluminum scales. But do not go on the secondary market and pay obscene prices for this guy. It would just be such a shame to see you guys go on the secondary market, pick this up secondhand, and pay $240, $250. Because in my opinion, I don't think it's worth $240 or $250. I think the $198 may even be a stretch for what this is, short of the M4. I think it's a very great knife. I think the $198 is a fair price point. I'm just saying you could probably go lower with it to fit where you need to fit it. Not complaining. I actually really do love this knife. We all know that Benchmades are slightly overpriced, and I'm not going to rip on that. It's a USA made blade, so that's awesome. And so I mean, we'll just take it with stride. Ended that at a weird rant, but my name is Tyler. This has been Everyday EDC, and this is the Benchmade 940 or Osborne 940 M4 Jade Scales Blade HQ exclusive. You guys stay sharp, stay safe. Thank you sincerely for watching. I love doing this. This stuff's a lot of fun, and I hope you guys have some fun with me. Have a great day, guys. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. It genuinely means a lot. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment. If you didn't like it, give me some feedback in the comments below, and hit the thumbs down button. In case you guys don't know, I do have a Patreon, which will be listed right here. In that Patreon, we're giving bi-monthly giveaways to just the Patreons based on the number of Patreons that we have in the Patreon. We will also be giving discounts on all the knives that I sell based on the number of patrons. My name is Tyler. This is Everyday EDC. You guys stay sharp, stay safe, and have a great day.